Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for BroadwayWorld. Vanessa Hudgens is making her Broadway debut in the new production of the beloved Lerner and Loewe musical GIGI, and we are here on opening night to celebrate with the company. Congratulations, your Broadway debut. How does it feel?
It's crazy. It's so surreal. I mean, as soon as I walked off the stage, I started bawling my eyes out. I just feel so fulfilled and so grateful and so blessed.
What was today like for you leading up to go into the theater?
It was like pretty calm. I mean, I must admit, the amount of flowers that are in my dressing room right now is astonishing. I never want to leave.
And living in the world of GIGI and Lerner and Loewe, tell me what that's been like for you.
It's heaven. I mean, if you're a fan of musical theater, you're a fan of My Fair Lady. I mean, me at least. I grew up with their music, and it's just so good. They create such a fascinating world that's so beautiful, and just the fact that I get to be in it every night is, once again, I'm blessed.
You have worked so hard, and you've made her your own. You've sort of reinvented her. What's it been like just singing those songs, and what a gorgeous score.
They're amazing. I mean, it's so much fun. I remember when we first started the rehearsals, I couldn't belt out the songs the way that I do now. So it's just so nice to work really hard at something and to be able to share it with the world.
And working with this cast, tell me.
This cast it blows my mind every single night. It's so much fun. It's so nice. Everyone is so on top of it. Everyone's so beautiful, so willing to give. I mean, it's different every night, and that's kind of like an extra stream. Yeah.
When you walk down the street to the Neil Simon, you see your pictures on the marquee, what goes through your mind?
It literally goes like this. Like, is this real life? It's just so surreal. I've always dreamt about it happening, but I never actually thought that it would.
You know, there are little girls and people coming to the theater for the very first time to see you, and it's going to change their life forever of seeing theater. What does that mean to you?
Man, it means the world to me, because people did that for me, and maybe I will inspire the next version of myself, you know? Like, it's amazing. It just allows the cycle to keep on going and new generations to emerge and bud into talented theater actors.
My final question is, when you took your bow tonight on Broadway for your debut, what were you thinking?
Oh my God.
You're here.
I made it.
It is opening night. First of all, you were so dapper tonight.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
How do you feel tonight?
I feel amazing. I'm on cloud nine. This has been my dream since I was like a kid, you know, to open a Broadway show and open it this elegantly and with this cast and this crew, and I really can't put it into words, man. It's amazing. It's thrilling. Yeah.
Tell me what it's been like living in the world of GIGI.
It's very, very different from my life day to day. You know, I'm not naturally, I don't care about fashion that much. So to be wearing these expensive tuxes and these leather coats and that cost more than my apartment, and you know, it's amazing. And it's starting to inspire me to want to look better in my daily life. And also just to be in this world. There's a lot of differences between 1900 Paris and now, but there's also a lot of similarities, especially in terms of how people judge each other and how people the image you want to portray to society, whether it's through social media or the newspaper, as we do in GIGI. And so that's not much different, which is a big theme in the story, you know. But the style and the way people communicated was a little bit just more elegant and charming, and it's a little bit heightened, and that's a thrilling thing to be a part of. Yeah.
Singing Lerner and Loewe's score, especially GIGI, which you do so beautifully.
Absolutely. GIGI, actually, Alan J. Lerner said that was his favorite song he ever wrote, which you think about I Could Have Danced All Night, you think of Grown Accustomed to Her Face, On the Street Where You Live, all those. That's his favorite. When I heard that for the first time, it moved me to tears a little bit, because I was like, I get to sing that every night, and the song itself is a 3-act play that I get to go through every night, you know, and there's so many thoughts and so many things happening. At the end, he gets to fall in love with a girl. I get to fall in love every night, and I have a wife, and I think I get to think about her in my work every day, and that's amazing. You don't get to do that in every play, you know, and I do. So if I get to experience falling in love with my wife every night and falling in love with Vanessa Hudgens, that's pretty great.
Let's talk about working with Vanessa, and it's her Broadway debut.
Yeah, I know. Oh my gosh, she's the best. She's so cute. Like she really appreciates this. I mean, Broadway's a new thing for her, you know, and and she cares about it so much, and it's really contagious. Her energy, the way she just excites all of us backstage. She's a really good leader. She leads our company very well, and personally, I didn't know anything about her too much besides High School Musical when we started working together, so I didn't know what our chemistry would be, but we found this really fun chemistry, this brother-sister situation that we really, really love, and I don't know, I'm having a blast with her. She's awesome.
It is opening night. GIGI, how do you feel?
I can't tell you how excited I am. I'm so happy that we're done with opening night. It was so electric backstage before the show. Of course it would be, it's a Broadway opening. But we all felt like we really kind of calmed down. We did our show. The audience was fantastic, and it's just a great relief to be done and feel like we can have a party now.
Tell me what it's been like living in the world of GIGI and Lerner and Loewe.
It's a dream for me because I'm a diehard musical fan to begin with, and to enter this world of this period of the Belle Epoque and Paris and these costumes and the sets, Derek McLean's beautiful sets, it's just such a joy. And then you've got these great songs. People know the songs, they love them. It's just great.
And playing this iconic role, what it means to you?
Well, it was a little bit intimidating at first because I knew a lot of people, were expecting Maurice or something like that. And everybody's first question was, are you doing the French accent? And, we are not. We're doing it in a new, I think, fresh way. With still, obviously, we're tipping our hats to what was a great show to begin with. And we're not reinventing the wheel, but we're having a great time.
And working with this cast.
It's a great cast. I mean, Vicki Clark and I are having a ball out there. We really connected from the very first day of our first workshop when we did this last summer. And it just feels great. It feels great to play these scenes with her and sing these songs with her. So, and these kids. I mean, I'm the old man now, so I can say that. They're amazing. They're both just so amazing. All of these, the ensemble, all of the actors are great.
So when you took your bow tonight, do you remember what you were thinking?
Yeah, I was thinking it's really great to be home.
It's just nothing like a Broadway stage or appearing on Broadway, is it?
There's nothing like it in the world. I mean, somebody said, do you ever get tired of the... Yeah, no.
Listen, congratulations. It is opening night. How do you feel tonight?
I feel just really sort of deeply calm. Yeah, and excited, but just relieved and happy, Yeah.
What has this whole world been like, living in the world of GIGI and Lerner and Loewe? Tell me.
It's been really beautiful, and I've been thinking a lot about family and relationships, and the fact that I play a grandmother has made me think about my own grandmothers a lot. So it's been very moving and touching for me. Yeah, it's been fun.
And singing this score.
Unbelievable! What an honor! What a privilege! We don't get to hear GIGI that often, so this has been great, really great.
And working with the cast, a lot of friends in this show.
I know Howard I never worked with before, and Dee and Howard were colleagues of mine, but I never worked with them. They're both amazing. I love them. I deeply love Corey and Vanessa. And we're just so blessed. I have four of the best scene partners in the world, and they're all completely different, and they really keep me on my toes.
And just talk about how this show affects audiences.
Well, they seem to really love it. I mean, I can't see it, but I mean...
You hear them.
Yeah, I mean, they seem to be very excited about it and sort of going with the flow.
The fashion is stunning. The costumes in the show are simply gorgeous.
We love our design team, and they've created a real world, a tangible world for us to be in that it has been so much fun. It's a privilege to be working with these designers. They've done everything for us.
My final question is, when you took your bow tonight, do you remember what you were thinking?
I was just very grateful. I'm grateful to God for this opportunity. I'm grateful that I had so many family and friends who have been by me every second, just cheering me on. It really does take a village to get to an opening night. So I'm very grateful.
Congratulations! It is opening night. How do you feel tonight?
Amazing! This is my first opening of a Broadway show, and there's, nothing like it. The energy from the audience was insane tonight. So much fun.
So what was today like for you leading up to tonight?
manic. I felt like a crazy person, just, getting all the gifts together, writing all the cards, handing everything out. But as soon as I got to the theater, it was such an outpouring of love, and it's a family, and we're putting this piece together, and it was beautiful.
Tell me about the role that you play and what you love about her.
Oh, Leanne is so much fun to play. I mean, she's this huge, over-the-top, glamorous character who really is like living the best way she can in this Parisian lifestyle. She's got jewels, she's got crazy bows, she's got flowers, she's a little kooky. I mean, she's so much fun to play.
You get to wear the most stunning clothes.
I know. Kathy has put me in the most beautiful clothes. It's dress after dress after dress of like pure glamour. I'm so lucky.
And just living in the world of Lerner and Loewe and GIGI, what it's meant to you.
Oh, the music is so gorgeous. And the show itself, I think, is such a fun place to come and to work every night. It's such like a beautiful world that's light and airy and an escape. And it's so fun. And really, our company is so much fun to be around and play with, too. So all around, I love coming to work.
Okay, so when you took your bow tonight on Broadway, do you remember what you were thinking?
No, oh God, I think I was just very grateful. I think I was very grateful to be like a part of that whole experience that the cast and the audience was sharing.
You look gorgeous. It is opening night. How do you feel?
I feel fantastic. I have had the best time working on GIGI. Playing on Alicia is like, I didn't know I could dream it, but it would be a dream come true.
So you and I spoke before you went to Washington, and you were having the time of your life.
Yes, and I still am, even more so, because now we have the costumes and the music and the set and the lighting and the company. They're so, and Vanessa, she is the bomb, isn't she? She is the real deal, that girl.
And then you have Corey.
Oh, he's okay too. I'm so fond of him.
Yeah.
I don't mean this to sound wrong, but he's really grown on me.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all like this when we start. And I thought, well, he'll get there. But I mean, oh my God.
When he sings GIGI.
OMG.
Okay, tell me what it's been like living in the world of Lerner and Loewe.
Oh, it's been delicious, especially because some of my clothes I feel like I could escape and play Henry Hudgens' mother, in a second. But the music is so, and that anthem, GIGI, is just, it's so great. And they do this thing where there's that little magical, they all have this transformational thing with a woman in them. It's not just Pygmalion, it's Camelot too, to an extent. I don't know, there's something just so interesting about it. And although I don't get a lot of singing to do, which is fine. Sing it, Vicky. Sing it, sister. And you feel a little tickle in your throat, and that's too bad.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, I'm sort of like, woo, okay. So, but I just really, really enjoyed it. And I've loved working with Heidi Thomas. She's the bomb. Wrote all this unbelievable, she wrote a whole new book.
Yeah.
But the dialogue, I mean, the lines she gave me, oh my, I was like, I can be funny, right? This is funny. She went, oh yes, my dear, of course. Well, you want to make sure.
But you inhabit her so beautifully, you made her your own. It must be great living in her world.
It is. I have to say, I have homage to the leading ladies who have passed into their dotage, who became character actors, the Angela Lansbury and the late Marion Seldes. I mean, and Roberta Maxwell gave me the idea of putting a little Marion in, because remember how she never left the stage until the last fingertip left the light? I used that for Alicia. I've used a bunch of those women. Isabel Jeans, who created it for me on film, was never let her hands go below her waist, and I just love all that stuff.
What a beautiful homage.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I wanted to be Rosalind Russell when I grew up. I wanted to be all those. I wanted to be Carol Lombard too, but that ship sailed. But
not at all.
But those are the women who worked their way through. They did the movie after movie or show after show, looking great, but weren't necessarily the great beauties of. But they were funny and they were smart and aged well through their dotage. If you are, I mean, Angela, she's amazing. But I stole from all of them.
And wearing these clothes and jewels and wigs.
I know. I gave a few lessons on how to deal with a train, how to kick the train. I said to Vanessa, no, if you're walking to the left and you know your next move is to the right, hip check that thing out of your way when you turn. She was like, what? So more tales from the D. Hody School of how to wear your clothes.
Oh, you do it so beautifully.
Thank you.
Okay, so when you took your bow tonight, do you remember what you were thinking?
I was thinking, oh my God, it's so great to be back on Broadway. Thank you so much.
You know, Howard said there's nothing like Broadway. He said the same thing up there. There's nothing like standing on a Broadway stage.
His dressing room is next door to mine. We pinch here. I go, well, how are you doing? I'm okay. What do you think? They're nice. I think they like me. You know, we're like a couple of children.
Congratulations. It's opening night. How do you feel?
I feel wonderful. You know, we're so lucky to be here. We started this back in December. I mean, we started way back, but we've been rehearsing since December. Then we went to the Kennedy Center, and then we got so lucky, and we got a theater right away. So we've been working on this for 4 or 5 months straight now, and it's really exciting to have this night and finally achieve this.
What's it been like living in the world of GIGI?
It's been very exciting, and it's such a great cast. I mean, with Vanessa and Vicky and Dee and Howard, I mean, these people they're unbelievable, and it's been incredible to share this experience with them, and also the designers, Derek and Kathy, and you know, to rise to that occasion, and of course Eric and Heidi Thomas. It's been such a great group of people to work with.
What was the first number you staged for the show, and what was the last?
You know, I think the first number I ever came up with was the night they invented champagne, and that was a very long time ago. I did it in some pre-production for a workshop, and it changed probably by like 3 steps because I knew what that number needed to be. I knew what everybody wanted to see. I knew how that act needed to end, and I wish I could say that about all the numbers that I do, that they don't change at all, but that one never changed. And the last one, gosh, that was a really good question. It's probably one of the transitions, a last-minute transition where Eric said, "I have an idea for transition," and he says, "Go do it right now on stage." And it's in the middle of tech, and I'm like, okay, but I thrive on that. I love coming up with stuff at the last minute. So yeah.
I'm sure, you know, doing Smash helped you with all of that when you changed things on a dime for TV.
Yes, totally. Yeah, I learned how to think on my feet very quickly, and even when there's hundreds of people standing around watching, just don't even worry about it. Just come up with the movement and figure it out. So Smash helped out a lot.
So if you could sum up the best part of the experience with working on GIGI, what has it been for you?
Oh gosh, I think it's getting to know this time period, the 1900s in 1900 in Paris, and really like the romanticism about it, and really working with Vanessa Hudgens, and what a pleasant surprise she is, and she's probably she's so talented. She's a great dancer. She brings character to her dancing, and honestly, she's probably the easiest person to work with of anyone on the planet.
Congratulations. It is opening night. How do you feel?
Oh, it's just wonderful. It's so lovely. I think the Broadway community have been so welcoming to me as somebody from London. That feels fabulous. But I just love our cast and our creative team and what they've managed to achieve. It feels fabulous.
What has this whole experience been like for you living in the world of GIGI?
Oh, it's been everything one could have hoped. And I started work on the project 4 years ago. And certainly a year ago, I spent Easter in New York because we were already planning for our out-of-town debut at the Kennedy Center. So I've been probably as much in New York as I have in London over the past year, and it's been wonderful. But we've always had tonight in our sights, the opening on Broadway, and so the nearer it got, the more terrifying and beautiful it felt.
Did the book change a lot between Washington and Broadway?
Yes, it did. I mean, obviously we'd done an enormous amount of work before Washington anyway, but I saw the show 25 times with an audience, and you learn a great deal. They're a fabulous crowd in DC, and they're very sophisticated, they're very witty, they're very warm, but sometimes you'd be thinking, oh, people are enjoying that, can we give them a bit more of that? Or you notice things like, does the pace perhaps drag, or are some characters not resonating as they should? Do they deserve a little more screen time? So it was, I would call it a deep polish and massage rather than a complete rewrite. But then we continued that process when we rehearsed in New York, when we were all together as a company. So I think again there was more work to do. It's very much an ongoing process, and I think we feed off each other's creative energy, so it never feels as though we're at the end of the road.
And talk about your GIGI, Vanessa Hudgens, who's making her Broadway debut.
Isn't Vanessa fantastic? She is the most wonderful, professional young woman. She is fantastic. She is so hardworking. She is never late. She is never rude. She is always generous, and she brings real talent to the role, as well as the charm which we knew about. Just to see someone singing, acting, dancing with such consummate perfection is just really wonderful to see, really humbling. And I just feel incredibly thrilled that I've played a small part in bringing that talent to the Broadway stage.
What's been the best part of the experience for you with working on GIGI?
I think for me, I have so enjoyed the experience of working with a theatrical company. It's not an enormous company, but it's a very cohesive one. And we've spent a lot of time together over the last few months, all in the room together, whether it's myself as the writer, the music team, the choreographers, obviously the director. And it's just been a very fertile environment where everybody has huge respect for everybody else's talent and everybody working together. It's something that I think is not as common as perhaps it should be in theatre, but we had it in abundance on GIGI, and I'll feel forever blessed that that was my experience on this show.
Congratulations. Broadway opening tonight, GIGI. And Rick, how do you feel?
I feel great. I mean, it was such a great night, and I'm just so excited about the show and what we've done, and I feel really good.
What's it been like living in the world of GIGI and creating this for the stage?
No, it's been fascinating because it takes you back in time, which is great, and it's 1900 Paris, and it's just like the fashion period alone is amazing, and it's also just the rules of the game. I mean, what I loved about, and we talked about this a lot in the show and rehearsing it, is like it's a game. It's like how these guys are all in a game, of getting the woman or not getting the woman, and so it's been really actually great bringing it to today's audiences, because the one thing is I think it's like a great old Broadway musical, but yet it has this fresh appeal to it and this fresh approach, and we tried to bridge both gaps in that sense, and it was really one of the things that we really worked on.
So did you go back to the musical from '73 and the film and the novel?
Yeah, we actually looked at all of those things, and we took pieces from all of them and then made it all our own. And literally the book that Heidi Thomas did is probably 90% all of her. We really threw out everything, because it's weird. You think of the original musical, there was never a duet between GIGI and Gaston, and you're like, how can that be? They're the two people that fall in love. It makes no sense. So it was really great to actually go and just deconstruct it and then make a whole new show out of it.
Okay, and talk a little bit about your GIGI herself, Vanessa Hudgens.
Oh, I am her biggest fan. I mean, she's fantastic. The thing that is really great about Vanessa is she came to this not just 100% but 300%. She was so committed to doing it, and she worked really hard, from vocally to acting, everything, and it's so great. She never said, oh, I'm Vanessa Hudgens, I'm just going to do this. She was in it to win it and just work, and she's such a great team player. She was so great with the rest of the cast. I mean, I just can't say enough great things about her. She's never a diva, I mean, it's just it was fantastic to to have her in the room. Great energy.
When the cast was taking their bow tonight, what were you thinking?
No, I was the proud dad, you know what I mean? It's one of those things where you see what we created. I mean, before the show started, I met with the whole cast on stage, literally 2 minutes before the curtain went up. And as I said to them, I said, I think we created the impossible. Everyone thought oh my God, GIGI, it's never worked on stage. How are they going to do this? And I said, we've all worked really hard, and I think we've really actually have made it work on stage. And I just said, that comes from collaboration. We all did it together. It's not just one person. And I just said, we all own this. And it's really that, everyone in the company and all the creative team, we all really contributed to what it was and made it special. And it's kind of great that it's this old musical that's coming new,